Hey, hi, hello, everybody. Welcome to the live edition of Dodgers Territory on this Thursday afternoon. I'm Alanna Rizzo alongside my guy, Clint Pasillas. We're taking you through the next 35 minutes. We appreciate you. Join the conversation, get those questions in, load up the chat for us, rate us 5 stars, subscribe, YouTube, wherever you get your podcast. By the way, Beast Mode, Clint Pasillas, is going to be on the show today. Matt Kemp is scheduled to appear. Before that, let's get into the big ticket.
Let's do it.
All right, taking a look at the Cubs series that just happened. Dodgers are off today before they start another series. What did you take away from it? What was your biggest headline?
Well, you don't want to lose that series against the Cubs, but if we're looking positive, we're going to spin positive. I can't not be happy about seeing Yoshinobu Yamamoto absolutely carve up the freaking Cubs. 4 innings, 8 Ks, a run, was it 3 hits? He just looked phenomenal. The ability to dominate still there despite missing, what is it, close to 3 months with that shoulder injury. I've been telling you, Alanna, he's my game one guy, and I think this has to solidify it even more. Yeah, the Cubs aren't, they're not the 2016 Cubs. They're not the Yankees or whatever. They're okay, but I like what you see out of Yamamoto. What do you think?
One thing I took away from this has nothing to do with the Dodgers. Pete Crow Armstrong is a hell of a defensive outfielder. My goodness, some of those catches. Max Muncy's got to be like, what do I have to do to get a home run? But anyway, good for him. He looked great defensively. But yes, I was wondering what Yoshinobu Yamamoto was going to look like coming off the IL. He's been on the shelf for quite some time. You say he's an ace. You were very excited about that. He looked good. I mean, he did show me something there. I still think Flaherty is our number one starter unless Tyler Glasnow comes back and he's okay. But Yoshinobu Yamamoto looked really good, looked exactly where he needed to be coming off the IL. You got 2.5 weeks. I mean, wild card round, Clint James Pasillas starts 3 weeks from yesterday. So we're running out of time here, but he did look good. I mean, he goes 4 innings, gives up the 4 hits, just the 1 earned run, no base on balls, which you love to see that. And he had 8 Ks. So for what we expected him to give in terms of the amount of pitches he was going to be allowed to throw, I thought Yoshinobu Yamamoto looked good. On the position player standpoint, Tommy Edman had one heck of a series.
Tommy Taters. This guy, back-to-back multi-homer games, hitting 300 as a Dodger, OPS over 800, playing some really nice center field, playing some nice shortstop. It's like maybe Andrew Friedman in the front office know what they're doing at the trade deadline, but this kid has been a fun addition to the lineup. He's swiping some bags as well, hitting with runners in scoring position. He's getting on base, keeping innings going when there's an out, 2 outs. He's doing a little bit of everything, and I think he's filling a massively important role there in like the lower half of the lineup, where behind him or in front of him you're going to have Max Muncy, who we know what Max Muncy can do, and just makes this lineup, once again, makes it that much deeper and that much more frightening when you get into a short series or even a long series in October. But Tommy Edman, that was a great pickup for this team.
Yeah, 6 for 13, 4 home runs, 6 RBI over the course of that breakout series for him. And again, I was super psyched about, some of the folks coming over. I didn't know what we were going to get from Tommy Edman. He's turned into Manny Ramirez, Juan Toribio. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Calm down. Slow your roll there a little bit, but he looked good. And again, to your point, given some depth to the lower part of the lineup, great defensive player. I'll take it. Linda de Casale. I'm going to say that Linda's Italian. Linda del Casale, PCA and Shohei worth the price of admission, no doubt. I mean, they were absolutely incredible. By the way, I mean, Shohei, again, show Tommy. Bob Nightingale, what's up, my man? Joining the show. We appreciate you. Probably not really Bob Nightingale, but that's okay. The point is Shohei's close again, and it's really good. What did you think about the fact, though, in your opinion, Flaherty and Yamamoto, 2 good starting pitchers we feel good about in terms of health and performance? I like that, but 2's not enough, Clint.
Yeah, 2 is not enough. There's some help on the way. They say we had some positive, progression with Tyler Glasnow this week. He's going to throw, I think it's a live bullpen tomorrow. And then after that, they're set. If all things go well, they're set to activate him. And he'll be another guy that's on pitching, an inning limit or pitch count. But beyond that, we were hoping to get something out of Walker Buehler. That's not a thing. Bobby Miller, I'm sorry, Bob. I talked about him on a post-game stream on my channel last night. I'm out. I am strongly out on Bob Miller. I'm calling it's not even Bob, it's Robert Miller. I'm done. His season should be done. I don't think he's going to have provide very much a positive. He's not going to be additive to this team in October. But yeah, there needs to be a third guy. There needs to be a fourth guy in a postseason rotation, and they don't quite have those dudes right now. Of course, Gavin Stone most likely done for the year with that shoulder inflammation. Maybe could come back in an LCS situation. They don't know. We don't know where he's at, but you're missing some guys. And once again, we come back, we circle back. It's full circle. Alanna, you've been worried about the starting pitching situation all season long, and you wonder where this team would be at without that Flaherty addition, but they still need more.
I'm still worried about it. I'm still worried about it. You can't go into the postseason with this many question marks. What about Landon Knack? Is that enough for you?
You know what? He's looked a lot better. He showed a lot in his kind of spot start there on Friday. He's going to get another start this weekend in Atlanta. Whether it's Friday, I haven't seen if they've announced the rotation yet, or whether that's Flaherty on Friday and then Landon Knack. But he's got a real opportunity in front of him, especially with Walker Buehler kind of taking a big step back in this Cubs series. You wonder. I'm still going to hold out hope. I'm very much. I love Walker Buehler. I love what he's done for this organization. He's an absolute monster in the postseason, but he's pitching his way out of any possibility of being a part of this postseason rotation, or even the pitching staff as a whole. Landon Knack has an opportunity right in front of him if he can just give this team 5-6 solid innings over his next 2 or 3 appearances, because he will be in the rotation. He will be getting starts. He could be that guy that sneaks in and plays an important role as a number 4 guy for this team in October.
It's crazy to me to think that there might be a situation, Clint, where we have a postseason. We don't have a Justin Verlander or Kershaw on a postseason roster for the Houston Astros or the Los Angeles Dodgers. Let me talk to you a little bit more about Walker Buehler. It's one thing when you see Walker and you just know that his stuff isn't quite right because he's just not quite back to where he needs to be pre-second surgery. It's another thing entirely when Walker Buehler, who is one of the most confident guys I've ever seen take the ball, one of the most confident humans in general, and you see quotes that you start to question whether he's questioning himself as far as where he's at mentally. You can see a quote by Fabian Ardaya, who does a great job covering the Dodgers for The Athletic, where it says, "I screwed us from the jump. At some point, given the way the season's going, I'm kind of just trying to survive it at some point." That does not sound, you know who that sounds like? Remember Mike Bolsinger?
Oh
Who
man.
was like, I'm just not a starter. I don't even know why they run me out there every 5th day, which, by the way, that I'm totally paraphrasing. He probably didn't say it exactly that way, so please do not start yelling at me on Twitter. But it reminds me of a guy that doesn't have any sort of confidence, and that is a complete 180 from who Walker Buehler is.
Yeah, I mean, he's 1,000% gone through the ringer over the last 3 seasons, but this season has been as close to a nightmare as you can get for Walker Buehler. They've tried everything. I think they've literally thrown the kitchen sink at it, and it just has not worked. He had that little stretch where things were kind of trending in the right direction, but right now it's not there. The mentals are not there, and it's kind of a situation. I'll bring up Gavin Lux in this. Early in the season, he wasn't saying very much, didn't have that kind of he didn't have the mentals on his side with that, the confidence on his side. Now you see a completely different human being in Gavin Lux when he steps up to the plate. That's just completely MIA right now for Walker Buehler, and he doesn't have time. He really does not have time to find it. I don't think he does for this team.
Let me ask you a question. Let's talk about Anthony Banda here for just a hot second. On Fair Territory, Ken Rosenthal, it's on his show, talked about a dude and a dork of the week. And Anthony Banda was a candidate for dork of the week. And in a moment of unclarity or whatever it was that Dave said, a moment of frustration, he decides to punch a wall. Why do pitchers always punch walls? Like, can we find something else for them to get their stress? Give them a stress ball. Let's get somebody. Guidry's Guardian Foundation will start sponsoring stress balls. Because
Maybe
why are you punching walls? You're
don't
jeopardizing your season. You're jeopardizing your health. You're jeopardizing your career, and you're not for nothing. You're effing over your team.
Damn straight. The team part is the part that frustrates me more than anything. But it's stupid. It's embarrassing, and I mean, we know Bonda already feels dumb about it. We know Dave is annoyed. The team should be annoyed. But guys, if you're gonna punch shit, don't use your pitching hand. Don't use the moneymaker. Use the other one. They can figure something out. If you're hitting shit with your right hand,
Or here's
which you
something,
don't
maybe just
get,
don't punch with any hand. Maybe you
yeah,
just don't punch stuff. Like you're
smart.
not going to win against a wall. I have yet to see somebody punch a wall or run into it, Jake Plummer, Denver Broncos quarterback, and live to see it through it. Like that's just so dumb. Like, I mean, come on, man. Like I just Dodgers sponsored break rooms. I just, I think it's silly. But anyway, not for nothing. Now you're hurting your team. And
Yeah.
that you can ill afford to do so.
This is where I feel bad for pitchers because Alanna, you were in that dugout for a long time with the Dodgers. There's the tunnel, there's the door that has
Andre
seen.
Ethier.
Well, there's also the bat rack there, but there's that door that takes its fair share of abuse. At least hitters get to swing a bat at a door or at some inanimate object, which is also dumb. We'll throw it out there. It is very dumb to do that as well. It's also dangerous, but with pitchers, they have to kind of like, what do I do with my hands? Well, I guess I'm going to just start.
No, you mentioned the bat rack. Andre Ethier took a bat to that door too, so
Yeah.
it wasn't just the bat rack.
If you guys ever get a chance to take the Dodger Stadium tour, they'll take you through the the dugout there. Just look at those double doors that take you into the tunnel and into the Dodgers clubhouse. You're going to see some frustrations.
Oh, there's some frustration, no doubt about it. All right, Beast Mode is coming up in just a few seconds. Before we listen in on Matt Kemp and welcome into the show, let's take a quick word from AJ Pierzynski, Eric Kratz, and Scott Braun.
Congestion from sinuses, allergies, or a cold can be all-consuming.
That includes snoring for me. But Scotty, I found some relief from Navage Nasal Care. You've got to try this. Navage makes breathing easier. My Navage unit is a game changer for clearing my congestion fast.
Yeah, Kratz, Navage uses that smooth saline flow and nasal suction to clear those nasal passages.
It works for me, Scotty. I've noticed a huge difference since I started using Navage. I'm breathing better and the whole family is pumped that I've got the snoring under control.
We want to help you get relief from your congestion too. Our listeners can order a convenient Navage starter pack, including a nose cleaner with batteries included and 30 original salt pods. Everything you need to get started. Plus, get a cleaning kit as a free gift with your order, but only going to our exclusive URL, navage.com/FOUL, and using our promo code FOUL. Again, to order your Navage free cleaning kit and for full product details, go to navage.com/FOUL. That's promo code FOUL at navage.com/FOUL.
All right. Thanks to our friends at Navage. There he is, Matt Ryan Kemp, joining the show now. Matt, it is always great to see you. First of all, before we get into this, say hello to your beautiful mother. I want to say thank you, but before that, congratulations on a career that has just been so fun to watch. What was it like for you? You've had a moment to reflect on it, to go back to Dodger Stadium and retire as a Dodger. What was that experience like for you?
It was unbelievable, man, to be able to see a lot of familiar faces and to be able to just be around the boys again, be in the locker room. There's a lot of stuff you miss about being a baseball player, not just baseball, but just the camaraderie and to be able to be in the locker room with the boys and to do all those things and even be around the great fans. There was a lot of love and I miss being there day in and day out, but it was a good goodbye, and now we're in a different stage of my life, and now I get to go to the stadium as just a regular fan.
I want to follow up on that for a second before we let Clint jump in here. It took you a minute to be able to want to go back to the stadium. I mean, it's hard when you're an athlete and you finish your career and it's all that you've ever known to come to terms with that. How long did it take you to do that and know that you were all right?
Was my last? I mean, my last baseball game was 2020. It's 2024. So my plan was to retire at the age of 40. I'll be 40 in 12 days. So I still should be playing baseball. My plan was I still should be playing baseball, but God's plan was bigger. It took a while, man. It's something that I've been doing since I was 4 years old. And I guess to say goodbye, there's some players that never even have retired. So they haven't like formally retired. But for me, it was just to say goodbye to everybody and kind of just start that next chapter in life.
Matt, we appreciate you coming on. We appreciate the video we're seeing here.
Oh
Definitely
yeah.
chill inducing. I love that you put that together. Dodgers fans are going to love you for the rest of their lives. Appreciate everything you
Uh,
did. What's the thing you miss most about the game and putting on a Dodger uniform?
Man, I mean, there's a lot of different things, but I mean, nothing really matches uh, Dodger Stadium at night, playing against, I don't know, a rival or the Arizona Diamondbacks or the Giants or whoever, playoff
Maybe a
baseball at
playoff,
Dodger Stadium, Dodger
playoffs against the
Stadium. But
Phillies, playoffs against the
yeah,
Cardinals,
but
maybe.
yeah, it's just a different feel, and it's crazy, man. You see a lot of guys come over from different teams, and every time they experience putting on a Dodger uniform, I mean, I feel like people play better when they're in that uniform because I feel like Dodger fans do a really good job of holding us accountable when we suck. They're gonna let us know when we suck, and and for me, it's like I needed to, when I sucked, I needed to hurry up and get out of that because I didn't want them booing me or being mad at me. So they hold us accountable, and I mean, just the energy in there is electric. And you could be in a batter's box and you can look in the stands and you might see one of your favorite actors or actresses or models or whoever, but there's just something about LA that you can't repeat or anybody. It's just one of those places that you have to go there to see it for yourself. It brings out the
Yeah,
best in you.
yeah, we've heard a lot from other fan or other players kind of coming over and sharing that sort of that feeling you're saying there. You have to play better when you're wearing Dodger blue. Just before you,
Hmm.
you, you joined us here, I was talking about that poor defenseless door there, the double doors down
I
going
was
into
cracking
the.
up. I
Yeah,
was
that's what
cracking up.
we were told before we were able to see. Talk about that. You're holding yourself accountable there, or whatever. You're playing like
Oh
crap.
man.
You're going to take it out on some things. What's the wildest situation either maybe you've gotten yourself into? You've seen a player. Of course, we remember Dre Day going off on the bat rack, an iconic
I mean,
moment.
that was yeah, I wasn't really a bat rack guy. If I was going to do something, it was gonna be where somebody didn't see it. But Dre was definitely known for that. But the crazy thing about it is like for me that was like something that Dre would do and then the next at bat he'd go up there and hit a home run. So it was kind of like something that he needed to just get out of his system. It would calm him down. But the crazy thing is, when he started having kids, you started not seeing it as much. He was way more calm. So, but the younger Dre, when he was kidless with just his wife, he was nuts.
And now he has 4 kids. He and Maggie have 4 kids. So how has becoming a dad, you and Amber have a little girl, just beautiful baby girl. How has that changed you, Matt?
Oh man, it just made me realize that it's not about me. It's not about me. It's not about anybody but being there for my daughter, being a dad, and it's kind of cool to be able to like have Tyler as I've gotten younger because I have a lot more time to do a lot more things with her. Rather than if I was playing, I'd probably be a lot more busier. But it's definitely changed my life, and I mean it's the best thing that's happened to me. She's 3 years old, but she's crazy, and it's hard to keep up with her because she's probably one of the most active kids I've ever known.
Yeah, like dad, like daughter, like daddy. What was it like? We had a fan question that wanted to know here what would that chemistry was like between you and Andre. I mean, it's so important to have your outfielders have good communication. I do believe you guys are
Yeah,
boys. What was that like for you?
yeah, it was great. Me and Dre, we first met each other in the fall league, and he was actually playing for Oakland at the time. And I've told this story before, but when he got traded over from Oakland, Oakland was pretty much known for like, I think they had a rule in the minor leagues where every 10 at bats, they had to have like 3 walks. And I was like, when he got traded over to LA, I was like, hey, bro, that doesn't slide here. Like, I was like, we hit bombs and we drive in runs. And he's like, I got you, man. And, he always had really really good plate discipline, but he became more of a power hitter when he came over here because he was trying to keep up with us. But our chemistry, man, I remember one season we got pretty much called into the office, and they told me and Dre that like right field was one of ours. We were competing for a right field job. And then we got to spring training. We looked at each other like, man, that's my boy. So like, whatever happens, happens. But we both played so good that they threw me in center, they threw him in right, and it was just like one of those situations where we were like, man, y'all aren't gonna. It's not. They didn't necessarily try to pin us against each other, but it was
Mhm.
like kind of felt that way. I was like, man, we're both ballers. So it ended up to where he was on the left side of me, and I was on the right side of him.
That was a fun outfield for quite some time.
Yeah.
Definitely miss seeing you boys run out there to center and right field. Got a pretty good team on the field for the Dodgers right now, even though they
Whew.
maybe don't have center field. They didn't have center field figured out for a little bit. Anytime you got
Yeah.
Mookie Betts in right field, you're gonna have a very, very good baseball team. What do you like about this 2024 edition of the ball club?
They're fun to watch, man. I'm just kind of jealous, man, because I've been a part of some really really great teams, but I've never like the stuff that's going on the field right now with them, man. It's just something you've never seen with Otani, Mookie, Freddie. It just Kershaw. It's like I can name about 20 different players that can be superstars on another team, and it's just they're just very consistent, man. I've never seen a team, like I say with the Dodger fans, they're like, we need to do this or we need to do that. We've lost 7 games in a row, and then they'll win like 20 games in a row. I'm like, y'all need to calm down, man. Like this is baseball. A lot of crazy stuff happens in baseball, and you just got to be patient. But I mean, they're getting at the point where like it like they're playing really good baseball, and they're getting hot at the right time. September is the time you want to really gel together and do some special things. And I mean, you got to do that literally I believe will be a 50-50. I remember one year I almost got 40-40, and they asked me what I needed to do to win MVP. And I say maybe the next year I need to go 50-50. And they printed it on the paper, and it says Matt Kemp will go 50-50 next
Unbelievable.
year. And you got somebody on the team who's actually about to do it. Like, plus, I think people don't realize that this dude can win 20 games on a mound. Like he's a freaking superhero, and I don't think we've ever seen anything like it.
Yeah, let
So
me
it's
ask you this. Let me ask you this, Matt. It's not always one and the same. What's the most talented team you've been on, and what's the team that's had the best chemistry and the best brotherhood that you've been on?
I think the most talented would have to be like was it '09? Well, Manny was '09, right?
Oh
I
08 when
think
he came
Yeah.
over and
oh
was
oh
super.
08, oh 08, oh 08, oh 09, but that would be one of my favorite teams to play on. But 2018, the chemistry in LA was like way different. Like we were all doing a lot of things together, and I wish we could have won a World Series that year. We came up short, but like I said before, that was probably the most fun I've ever had on a team, and I wasn't even playing every day. Like,
Maybe that's why.
so, so, but that was definitely the most fun I had ever had.
Yeah, what was that like coming back in 18? I know you've talked about it, but now you're that much further removed. There were still, a lot of the familiar faces there, but like you said, it was a different that '08, those '09 teams, those were you guys. You guys came up, the
Yeah,
Jacksonville five came up and you guys
yeah.
established that this was what this ball club was. A lot of people still figuring some things out. When you came
Mhm.
back in 18, this was a team that already, just kept getting better, just went to a World Series the
Ah.
year before, running off this crazy run of division titles and all that. What was the difference in aura between those early teams and kind of what you came back to?
Uh, I know this might sound crazy, but I think it'll make sense to a lot of people. I feel like if we had like a Kike Hernandez on those '08, '09 teams, the way he just made, like I said, I've said it before, like he made baseball really really fun, and he made the clubhouse. He's crazy. He's very crazy, but he makes baseball like really fun, and it you make it more of a kid's game when you have somebody on the team like that that's goofy and could play around, and then also in the playoffs get really big hits and do a lot of great things on the team.
Matt, you're one of the few Dodgers that we can talk to that was back there in the Vero Beach days to the Camelback Ranch days. You walked those
Yeah,
halls with legends of the game. I know you had a special relationship with Don Newcomb, obviously, the way that he related to you guys. Every batting practice, the best dressed man in the world is sitting right there. But he had a really
yeah,
good connection with players of color, too, you and Kenley. And what's that
yeah.
like for you? And what do you hope is the Matt Kemp portion of that legacy?
I mean, kind of just to continue that legacy of Dodger greats. I mean, those guys, paved the way for us, and they also made it told us that it's okay to be us, to have that type of swagger and to play hard. But I mean, those guys, I don't think I'll ever be able to, like guys like Don Newcomb and those guys. I'll never be able to even imagine some of the stuff they went through back in the days of like sleeping in different hotels, and I know a lot of those other crazy things that happened to them. I was blessed enough to not be able to experience stuff like that. But the most special thing about that is like wearing a Dodger uniform. It's a legendary jersey. It's something that everybody sees it. It's never changing. It's never going to change. It's just one of those iconic jerseys that you put on, and it's something that the Dodgers did a really good job of teaching us when we were in the minor leagues, like the history of the Dodgers, and to be able to learn the history and then to be really really close to people that actually were a part of that history is pretty cool. So I guess you could say I have a little. I have a somewhat a little bit part in that history now, so I can kind of like pay that forward. But just to be able to be associated to the team is truly a blessing. I'm lucky to be able to have done that.
Yeah, I'll tell you as a longtime fan of this team, Matt. They need you. This organization needs people like you, Andre, Russ Martin, people that will continue to spread that good word of Dodger baseball. Because there were some lean years there. Early McCourt times, Fox like killing some ties
Mm-hmm.
with some of the players.
Mm-hmm.
Guys
Hmm.
like you, the next versions that are going to be the next Don Newcombs, the next Maury Wills. Thankfully,
Yeah.
Bulldog is still around. Thankfully, Eric Carroll's
Yeah.
still around. But I'll tell you, this is a plea to you guys. Hey, this organization needs you around some way, shape, or form. Uh,
I
so,
appreciate that, man.
and we appreciate
I
again
appreciate
everything you
that.
did for this organization. So we know you're at the golf course today. I'd ask you some golf
Yeah,
questions.
man.
We got to
Yeah.
challenge you one of these days too. But besides golf, what
Oh
comes next
man.
from that camp?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to do, man. There's so many things I want to do, but I'm only one man. I can only do so much. um, I mean, I would love to. I mean, kind of dibble and dabble in TV and figure out if I'm good at that because I know that's not an easy job. Um, I still like to mentor. I got a few kids, some in college, some in high school. You know, mentoring kids. I got a big old batting cage at my house. Kids come and we just have like rake sessions. I call it the kitchen. I call my hidden lab the kitchen because that's where we cook. So I still love to I love to teach people about the game and just to I guess like I say pay it forward and like teach kids what I didn't know about the game when I was younger and I got taught. So I feel like that's one of my jobs.
If you could go back and tell Matt Kemp, the Matt Kemp that was drafted, the Matt Kemp that had his, first day in the big leagues, if you could go back and tell that young man something that you know now, what do you wish it would have been?
Oh man, dude. I don't know if we have enough time. There's a
You got all the
lot.
time in the world. You're Matt Kemp.
I have a list. There's like a list of things that I would probably tell myself that I didn't know when I was younger. I was blessed enough to have some really good mentors, but like there's a lot of things that you got to learn on your own when it comes to like being a big leaguer. But I mean, the main thing is just always, I feel like always trying to get better. You're only as good as I feel like when you have a really good season, I feel like you have to go into the next season and work even harder to have an even better season. In baseball, man, it's hard to be really, really consistent because it's just a game of failure and you're going to have a lot of hot and cold moments. Look at like Francisco Lindor, where he struggled the last year, I believe, year and a half, and now he's back and he's in a race to win MVP. Baseball is just the hardest sport in the world, other than golf. I think golf is way harder than baseball, but baseball is really, really hard. Um, it's just a sport. It's a sport that like it's unless you're Ohtani, you can't just dominate it year in and year out.
So,
That's all I would say is just when you have a good season, work even harder, man. That's what I wish I could tell myself. Um, I worked hard, but I feel like you have to work a billion times harder because I feel like people are just gunning for you every season, especially when you're the man.
a competition, you know what that does. It makes a really good outfield for the Dodgers sometimes in left or in right field and in center. You got to have that competition. The next guy coming after you.
That's definitely what I feel like we're kind of missing in the game right now is the competition of like I think now people get mad at me if they want to. I really don't care. But like I was on the back end. Like I started to see like teams giving kids jobs instead of them earning jobs. Like when we
Mhm.
were in the minor leagues, like they literally like, hey Dre, Kemp, right field, it's one of y'all. Y'all go compete for it and do it. Now it's like there's a level of competition that it keeps you going, and you want to strive to be better and better and better. And now it's getting to the point where like they'll just give out jobs, and then kids go and struggle. And it's like, what happened is because you threw them into the fire, and they weren't ready.
Yep.
They weren't
Amen.
ready. But it is what it is. But I mean, there's these kids now. They're super athletic, super talented, and shoot, they're gonna be making 60, $70 million a year, like here in the next 2 or 3 years. These salaries are getting crazy. I want to be reincarnated and come back as a younger person.
Hey, somebody get Ned Coletti on the phone. He'll get you another
Man,
big bag from
yeah,
Matt
man.
Kemp.
I remember one year I hit 248. I had like 30 home runs and like 90 something RBIs, and they said he's terrible. He sucked. You hit 248 now with
Oh
with
yeah.
30 home runs. They're gonna be like, here's $50 million a year. I got booed out of the stadium for hitting 248.
The game has absolutely changed over the last 10 to 15 years. Hey, so
I
Matt, I
know
was
probably somebody gonna be mad at me. Somebody's gonna be mad
all
at
good.
me.
Hey, listen, people are going to be mad about everything. You can say everything perfect, and they're still going to be mad. I'll call
Facts,
it a
facts.
perfect day, though, man. I was at that retirement game where you were there. I loved every bit of
Uh,
it. A little warmer than I wanted it to be, but it
oh,
was a
oh
fun
my!
experience. Dodgers
I was
walking
like,
in
I
the
was, dude. I asked Lon. I was like, why couldn't I get a night game, bro? Like I couldn't even watch the game. I had to go into
Ethier
sleep.
tonight.
Huh?
That said Andre Ethier, he got nighttime. Come on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. See, he's way more special than me, man.
Nah.
See.
One last quick one though. Who's the next great Dodger you think that's going to get one of those days?
Oh my goodness,
Needs
bro.
it,
Oh
deserves it.
man. Who's that? Who deserves
I
it?
said or needs it or deserves it. Who's that next guy?
Kirsch.
I mean, yeah, it has to be Kirsch. I mean, Kirsch is on the back end of his career. I mean, I don't know exactly how many years he wants to play, but he's for sure next. Like, I mean, that dude, I don't care how you put it, man. He's one of the greatest left-hand pitchers ever. Um, what he's done on and off the field, I say it all the time. It's way bigger than the stuff that Kirsch does on the field. Off the field, man, this dude is a legend. Building schools and feeding thousands and thousands and thousands of kids. Like he literally used his platform to try to make the world better. And like I said, he's a Hall of Famer on and off the field, and that says a lot about him and everything he's done.
Matt, when I think of Dodgers outfielders, you're at the top of my list. I appreciate you. I've known you for a long time. Nothing but the best. If you want to be a broadcasting, my friend, we got you. So thank you
I
for
told
taking
you,
the
I
time to be
told
with
you,
us.
I'm about to ask you so many questions. I'll be
You can
like, bro,
ask.
like, hey,
Yeah, we are
what did
here
I
for
do
you.
right? What did I do wrong? You're gonna be like, well, you suck. You suck
No,
today.
stop it. Stop it.
I'm
Stop
just,
it. Stop
I'm
it.
playing,
Power
I'm playing, I'm
positive
playing.
things. All right. Well, good luck with in the kitchen with the kids. Best of luck to your
Yeah, thank
family.
you.
Thanks for everything. And thank you for being here.
All
We
right,
appreciate you.
Appreciate you. Have a good day, guys.
All right, Matt Kemp, the best. We appreciate it very much. Time now for Vuori. You guys, I'm telling you, I can't stop talking about this stuff. Vuori is an investment in your happiness. I'm going to put my glasses on because I'm blind and old. For our listeners, they are offering 20% off your first purchase. Get yourself some of the most comfortable and versatile clothing on the planet. I'm wearing it right now. I wear it all the time. I swear, not just for our shows. I wear it all. I live in it. That's vuori.com/foul, VUORI.com/foul. Not only will you receive 20% off your first purchase, but enjoy free shipping on any U.S. orders over $75. Free returns, by the way. Go to vuori.com/foul and discover the versatility of Vuori clothing. We love it. Time now for Last Licks. All right, so Amy and Sheldon have been adopted. There are still 5 puppies, Clint, that need to be adopted. We are showcasing Leonard and Beverly today, these 2 bubbas. They are German Shepherd and American Bulldog mixes. They are 4 months old. In fact, they turned 4 months old on Saturday. They are fully vaccinated. They are microchipped. They are ready to go home to their forever families. If you're interested in adopting either Beverly or Leonard, please reach out, GidriesGuardian.org. for more information. All right, we already know that you sent Bobby Miller to the moon. So what is coming up on All Dodgers with Clint Pasillas?
So I was actually live last night. You got football going on. I won't be live tonight, but I'm probably going to be dropping a video talking about the kind of second base situation and really the final roster spot situation and how it relates to Chris Taylor, Andy Pajes, Kevin Kiermaier. So that'll be coming up some point on the channel. Tube in, subscribe over there. Those are the things that really help out the channel. And we also at some point have to talk about this Shohei Ohtani could be available to pitch this year. So you might see that on my channel if you hit that subscribe button.
All right, we can definitely talk about it on Monday, too. That is when we are back with a fresh new podcast, Dodgers Territory, Alanna Rizzo, Clint Pasillas. Make sure you like us, subscribe, rate us 5 stars. Big, massive thanks to Matt Kemp. We appreciate him so much. Have a good weekend, everybody. Go Dodgers.
Bye.